Hello and welcome to a summary of week number 7 marathon training for a goal of running sub 3 hours 30 at the Shakespeare Marathon that's going to be on the 24th of April 2022. First of all, apologies for no part run video. I did take the camera that day, but the battery ran out 3/4 of the way round. So I left you on week number 6 with a total of 42 miles and finished the week off on the Sunday with the Draycott 10 mile. So the goal for week 7 was to reduce the intensity to allow for some recovery, but because the intensity wasn't there, I'll be looking to try and increase the volume and actually try and hit my first 50-mile training week. Monday I took as a day off, best thing to do to aid with the recovery from the race. When I left home this morning, the sun was shining, so I got my glasses on. It's gone really dull now. So Tuesday would have been my track session, and I replaced this out for my first recovery run. I did 7 miles, took it really easy. My legs actually felt pretty good, but I could just feel an overall tiredness within my body, and I knew that I wasn't to be fooled by feeling okay on that Tuesday. Sometimes the fatigue catches up with me later on in the week, and it's not until maybe the Wednesday or the Thursday that I'm actually feeling the most tired. So just because Tuesday felt okay, I didn't want to be lulled into a false sense that I was fully recovered. I knew that Draycott had taken a lot out of me. I had to plan the recovery really well. I did 1 hour of strength training on the Tuesday evening as well. On Wednesday's run I put in a 9-mile run. That was the day that I filmed week number 6 marathon training. Again, just took it nice and easy, but a bit like the Tuesday really, just a general fatigue within the whole of my body. But the miles went okay, and I knew that I was banking some good, nice, easy recovery miles. I learnt from doing the 10k at Draycott that I'm probably not as fast as I used to be at recovering, and I do need to factor that in on the week after. Rather than treating these races as training runs, I'm actually giving them all my effort, so it's bound to take out more from me than just a normal training week. So on Thursday there should have been some sort of tempo session, and I had to make a decision on whether to get out of bed early and miss some sleep, or to use that sleep as extra recovery and maybe squeeze in a run later on in the day. But unfortunately it was a really busy day on that Thursday, and I did do my 1 hour weight session, but that was the only thing that I managed to get in on the Thursday. So on Friday, that would normally be my second rest day of the week, but as I hadn't run on the Thursday, and also it was the day that we had Storm Eunice, and I'd been into work but they'd actually sent us home early because some of the work that I was due to do wasn't available. So I came home with a few extra hours spare and decided just to go out for a little run. And although I knew I was doing part run on the Saturday and that I wasn't going to do anything that was difficult or any pacey work, I decided just to go out and take another easy day. And it was literally on the last couple of steps of that run that I felt something a little bit strange in my calf. Now, I've had a calf injury all of last year, and it took just forever to shift, partly because I didn't rest it long enough. But it's been so clear for so long now that I had actually thought it had gone away. So it was a little bit worrying that I'd felt something, nothing major, just a little pain on the last couple of steps before I stopped my watch. But once I got in and sorted myself out, didn't feel anything at all. So I just thought maybe it was a combination of just overtired legs and maybe just telling me just to slow things down a little. Saturday I took myself off to park run, every intention of filming it, and I did film it. I did a time lapse on my cap, but the battery ran out 3/4 of the way around the route. So without a complete route to show you, I decided not to put that video up. I wasn't going to treat the run as an all-out effort, definitely not a sub 21 minute parkrun attempt. I decided just to put my Adidas Adizeros on. So this was the first time back at the brand new course, which actually is in the old location, but they've slightly changed the route. So we're going the opposite way round, and instead of doing 2 loops on the main circuit, which includes a hill, on the second lap we take an inner path which brings us in right next to the lake, which is much flatter. I think on a good day it's looking like this could be a really good fast course for us. My time of 21:08, which was only 2 seconds slower than my Oakland park run that I'd run, it was either 2 or 3 weeks earlier. I was really pleased, and the fact that I was wearing what I perceived to be not my fastest trainer on tired legs after a race the previous weekend, it did me a lot of good, I think, because sometimes I think it's the trainers that are running and it's not me, and to basically equal a time that I'd got a few weeks earlier and I didn't give it a complete all out just shows that I am still improving and that my fitness is increasing, even with the stress of the race, the stress of the recovery, and building in extra miles to the training as well. Unfortunately though, on the cool down from parkrun, I do 2 miles to cool down, and on the last mile I felt my calf coming back really quite strong with the discomfort that I had on the last few steps of the Friday run. So this was actually really worrying, and I just thought, I was meant to do a long run on Sunday, there's no way that my calf and my leg is going to be able to withstand the session that I had planned. I spent most of Saturday just sat down, resting as much as I could, and even when I was sat down I could feel the discomfort. I hadn't actually pulled it, but it just wasn't right. Walking on it, sitting down, stretching my legs, I could feel it. But by some weird fate, by the evening it had gone away. Something that had been there like all day really since coming home from parkrun, for it to just disappear, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. The initial plan for Sunday was to meet up with Andy, and if I could complete 20 miles then that would have brought my total up to 50 miles for the week. However, thinking that I wouldn't be able to run, I messaged Andy and I explained about the situation. We decided that it was probably best that he was to do his own run, and if I felt like it I could go out and do my run, but have the ability just to stop at any point if I needed to. Now you might think that heading out the door on a 20 miler with an old injury raising its ugly head, that is completely the wrong thing to do. If the pain had still been there, I wouldn't have gone. The fact that I was walking fine, I could stretch it, and I didn't feel anything, I thought, well, I'll just give it a go, see how I get on. And I headed out the door. I kept everything really easy and comfortable, and I think on a pain scale, if you were to put it like that, it was just a 1 out of 10. There was something there. It definitely wasn't getting any worse, and it definitely wasn't anything like it was the day before. I kept the run really local. I kept doing loops and loops really close to home, kept the pace really easy, and by the second half I didn't feel anything at all in my calf, and I decided to keep going up to the 20 miles and finish the run off, and the second half was faster than the first half, and I can't understand what's going on with my calf. I took a pretty hefty gamble going out for that 20-mile run, and luckily it paid off, because at this stage of the training I can't afford for the miles to be low. I needed to bank a 20-miler just to take me forward so I can build up on the mileage and the endurance on my legs as well. So with a very ropey finish to week number 6, I did actually manage to do the full 50 miles, which is the first time in 10 months that I've completed that distance in a training week. I also managed to do both of my weight sessions, and I also commuted 22 miles on my bike to work. I'm pretty much entering the hardest part of training now, this like middle section, hardest sessions and the longest miles as well. I'm definitely trying to learn the best way to cope with my yo-yoing energy levels, but I guess it's a bit like the running mantra, you just have to get used to running on tired legs. My next video will be out on Saturday. I am running park run. I'm not sure if I'm filming. If it's not a park run video, I've actually managed to film the first of my 3 strength training sessions. So you'll get to be a fly on the wall on one of my weight sessions. So either way, there will be a video out on Saturday, unlike last week. So thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for your continued support and all your encouragement and positive feedback in the comments. I really do appreciate it. So thanks for watching today. Catch you next time. Bye.